Auzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Wafa Binti Mohamad Sabir. My metric number is 12016006. So today I will presenting my individual assignment, which is journal review. So the journal that I've been reviewed is emotional disorder, obstacles to Sulh settlement in child custody cases in Malaysia. So in this article, we straight to the objective of this article is one to explaining the emotional disorder and then the types of emotional disorder and how it affects the settlement in child custody. So first thing is the author want to explain the emotional disorder. So how they are explaining the emotional disorder is they are stating a lot of the solution from the all resources that have been they studied about the emotional disorder itself. So to make readers understand, so because some people are not understand or are not exposed with emotional disorder itself. So to make people have a depth understanding in emotional disorder, the author stated about the types of emotional disorder. So among the types that they are stating there is mostly they are they stated about anxiety and depression. So and then after understanding what is the definition and what type of it, so how the emotional disorder itself are affecting in solo settlement in child custody cases. So specifically, so to summarize all the information that I've been given in this article journal, so what can I summarize is emotional disorders such as anxiety and depression impede parties' ability to negotiate and reach common agreement. It affects the sufferer's mental capacity in making sound decisions. So focus on this article is saying that the emotional disorder is give an impact to people in making decisions, the sufferers itself in making decisions. So might be when they are making decision, they are in the condition that having a flashback of their problem and the memory, so that they having a intense situation. They are been struggling, and maybe the decision they are made is focusing on what they are what their state of mind at that time. So it is a meaning to say that the emotional disorder affecting in making a decision. And that emotional disorder may hinder the effectiveness of Sulh in resolving child custody dispute due to inability of the officer itself in dealing with the sufferers as they are not expert in medical field. So the focus is solo officers are not having a special courses in terms of psychology or medical field itself. So when they are handling with people with parties who have emotional disorder, it is affecting their effectiveness in um, facilitate the cases. So uh, it is seen as a problem to the solo FPC itself. Um, Whereby in this kind of settlement, as we know, it's a win-win situation. It's an agreement between the parties. So the solo is only the facility. So the solo itself, we're having a confusion in settling this kind of dispute. So the highlights finding that I can draw here is the party who suffered emotional disorder in child custody dispute will cause to hinder the effectiveness to Sulh officer in facilitating the dispute. As I said before, it is really affected to the Sulh officer itself. Okay. And so, among the recommendations that have been stated in this article is towards the Sulh officer itself, which is the Sulh officer need to aware about the emotional disorders symptoms. Meaning to say that we can get the information of emotional disorder itself in Google, for example. So the social advisor need to take uh, a way to settle this kind of dispute or to be aware of this kind of emotional disorder. So when they are aware with the emotional disorder symptoms, so they can uh, not taking this case and not proceed this case to the Sulh settlement, because we don't want to have a decision that are is unconcerned. So, and then toward the Shariah Court needs to collab with the psychologists in determining whether the parties in dispute, whether they are suffered in emotional disorder or not, whereby the Sharia court need to collab with the psychologists or the people who are expert in medical field in whatever way to ensure that parties that come and want to settle the dispute uh, of child custody cases need to go through some assessment or everything that can declare themselves as people with emotional disorder. We want to know that the people, the parties itself have the emotional disorder or not before considering or before follow up the cases into the civil settlement. Okay? And then the party in dispute must declare themselves they are not the sufferers. This is the recommendation to the party itself. The parties that want to settle the dispute need to take a responsibility will declare themselves that they are not the sufferers. So the significance of this study is understanding of the intersection between mental health, Islamic law, whereby the readers can understand what is emotional disorder. So what is related to the Islamic law, which is Suluh and everything. So, and the second one is the importance of early detection and awareness of emotional disorder in child custody cases. Because many people are not really concerned about emotional disorder. Many people take for granted emotional disorders, whereby in this solo settlement, in related to child custody cases, we want to focus on child welfare. So we want to focus on child welfare. So whenever the parties in time the state of mind that having emotional disorder, it will affect the child welfare in future. So it is not effective. It's not effective. So the focus is on the child welfare. And then the development of guidelines and protocols for handling child custody cases like the recommendations before. So the among the critical analysis that I can state it here is the weaknesses of the study is the study conducted in Malaysia. So it's not applicable to other countries that are using this kind of method also, like Brunei and Indonesia, they both have a solar settlement. So they cannot, they may be read this article, but they cannot go through the provision because the provision is focused on Malaysia, not in their country. So a few parts they can take for their references, few parts that they cannot relate it to this kind of. And then the quantitative methods such as surveys and statistical data could complement the qualitative approach in this study. Because I believe that a combination of quantitative and qualitative um, in achieving this objective of the study, which is awareness about the emotional disorder in settling the dispute in child custody, is important. It's effective if using combination of qualitative and quantitative. And the strengths of this study is the study stated all the provision related to the school settlement in Malaysia. So we can refer like all provision in here. So then the context of the journal article was well structured that make readers easy to read and understand. Because from the beginning, it's not the introduction, the literature review, the methodology, the findings, and the discussion. And then the last one is recommendation and conclusion. So it is well structured and that people really understand it. And then the comparison with the relevant topic is on article the journal selective mutation as barrier in Sulh corporate settlement by Dina Imam Sukai et al. December 2022, which is in the context of generalizability, which is this article is more specific and focuses on one type of emotional disorder without explaining other types of disorder. Whereby this article that I've been reviewed are not focusing in one kind of disorder, but many types of emotional disorder in general. But this selective mutism article is focusing on selective mutism only. So I think that's all from me. Thank you for your time. Uh, thank you.